to the platform. We're going to run through those athletes now. We have currently, as you can see on your screen, the jury, the referees, the technical officials proceeding out to get their moment in the spotlight before the athletes take to the stage. We just saw Liana from Brunei, who's got the lowest entry total, joint lowest, of 120 kilos. There's Windy Isa from Indonesia, one of the more well-known athletes in this field. She's put in 185 kilos. Perhaps the more exciting, or certainly one of the most exciting athletes, we have Linglong Yu from China, an athlete that we haven't seen compete well, internationally in years. Last time we saw her, she snatched 91 kilos internationally, but in a national competition, she has equaled to the 102 kilo snatch world record held by her teammate, Asian Lee, who of course is not here at this competition. From India, we have Shrabani. From Uzbekistan, Abdullayeva. Juliana from Indonesia. Iman from Brunei. Christina from Turkmenistan. Zulfiya Chinshanlo, the ex-2012 Olympic champion. She received an adverse test and subsequently lost that gold medal. She does, or did, hold a world record in the previous 56 kilo category. And then finally there's Hoisian Yodsan from Thailand, who's put in 190 kilos. Max, it looks like there's going to be something similar to the last 55 kilo men's session. There are two athletes right at the bottom, they'll battle it out. Then there's a mid-pack who are all looking to total sort of around the 190 mark. And then there are two standout athletes. Zulfiya Chinshanlo has a 215 kilo entry total, and Linglong Yu from China also a 215 kilo entry total.
Yeah, this will be a really good session. Both of those lifters are exceptional, and they both have their strengths. We obviously have Linglong with the much stronger snatch, and Chinshanlo with that huge clean and jerk capability. So it'll definitely be an interesting battle here.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw both athletes actually had their first session in the training hall at the exact same time. Same day, same training slot. And as it turned out, the exact same exercises. Both of them were doing front squats. For those of you who saw that session, put it up on the Weightlifting House YouTube channel, there was another athlete there who you may have expected to see in this session, another Chinese athlete called Long, who has actually since moved up to the 59 kilo category. So now the battle is down to these two. And I think, Max, what was so interesting is we know that Linglong Yu has at least, you know, in sort of national competition, she's got a slightly bigger snatch. Yeah. 102 versus 98. But then in the clean and jerk, there's a stark difference the other way around. Zulfiya Chinshanlo's hit 134 kilos before. That was a world record in Almaty. Whereas Linglong Yu, as far as I know, has hit 121 kilos in a Chinese national games. So 13 kilos difference there, and you could see it in their front squats. Linglong Yu was doubling 125, and Zulfiya was doubling 135, just shy of 300 pounds, and probably made them look as easy, if not slightly easier than Linglong Yu's.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be really interesting to see, too, where that number is now for Chinshanlo relative to what she did when she broke that record. Obviously, the positive test had an effect on that. We'll see how she is today.
Yeah, if we take a look at Zulfiya's recent competition performances, and for those of you, if you want to know where we're getting all of these stats from, we put together a media pack that we use for this commentary, which has all the results of all of these athletes, as well as other bits of data that we use. You can actually pick up a copy of the media pack. I think you can buy it as a standalone item. If not, you could. You probably had the opportunity to buy it along with the live stream. But if you want to take a look, you can get that at Weightlifting House. So if we look at Zulfiya Chinshanlo's recent clean and jerk performances, of course there was a marked drop from 2014. She had 4 years off. Presumably that was when she was actually undergoing the ban. She came back. She dropped from 134 to 120. Which is still a very solid clean and jerk in this category. I mean, the world record in the category by Lao Qian from China is 129 kilos, so she's still not far off. And she's hit 120 again since, and even 123 most recently at the Tokyo Olympic Games, where she took the bronze medal.
Yeah, I think her best snatch recently as well is about 93, so she's not too far off Linglong here. We'll see what she can do, though. with that big 100+ kilo snatch, might put her in a position to be that far ahead in the lead that Chinshanlo can't make it up.
Yeah, it really is, I imagine, going to be a game of how far ahead can Linglong get in the snatch, and how much ground can the physically stronger Chinshanlo make up in the clean and jerk. Max, I don't know if you saw the piece of content that we put out recently about Zulfiya Chinshanlo. I learned recently, I didn't know about this, that the Chinese sort of government claims Zulfiya Chinshanlo as their own. They claim that they essentially leased Zulfiya Chinshanlo on a lease contract to compete for Kazakhstan for, I think it was a 5-year contract. And then in 2012, that contract was over. Zulfiya returned to China. Zulfiya and Kazakhstan claim that she went to China just to visit family, but that she has always been and will always be Kazakh. China disagrees, and so even to this day, there's a little bit of back and forth. There's certainly a disagreement between China and Kazakhstan as to who really owns. Not that a country can own an athlete, but you know what I mean. Sort of to whom Zulfiya belongs.
Yeah, it's very interesting. That's actually happened before. I know there was a lot of controversy about Albania and Greece. We see some similar kind of situations there where athletes move back and forth.
Pyrrhus Dimas situation.
Yeah, Dimas, exactly. We even talked to some people, Europeans, where they mentioned that they would maybe be from Albania, they'd train, they'd get pretty good, then they'd move to Greece because the money was better. Not sure exactly the situation here, but obviously when money is exchanged or when athletes move countries, it definitely is an interesting scenario. Probably similar to a lot of pro sports where athletes basically move team to team. They go where the contract dictates or where the best place to be for them is. We see as well at this competition we have 2 athletes that have moved from country to country.
One of whom is in the crowd right now, Lesman Paredes.
Yeah, Lesman moving from Colombia to Bahrain, and Gormanassian from Armenia to Bahrain as well. So kind of a strategic move for Gore for sure, because now he's in a position where he can potentially be the best super in the Asians, where he was kind of fighting in Euros against pretty stiff competition. It's almost ironic. It's almost silly to think that a person with a 216 snatch has to look for a place that maybe is a little bit less competitive to get a better shot at winning.
I mean, there has never been a time in the history of the sport where 2 competing athletes snatch over 215 kilos.
Yeah. Because
there's only been 4 of them, and 3 of them were in the last 5 years.
Right.
That's Salimi, Gormanassian, and Lashtarkadze. Salimi, who we saw yesterday walking around the competition venue, he actually, I think he acknowledged us before we acknowledged him, which was maybe the peak of our athletic career.
Yeah, I think he recognized me, and he came over to congratulate me and maybe get some advice.
Yeah. I think he thought I was a hanger-on.
Yeah, we tried to shake him off. He was hanging around
a little bit needy. Yeah.
Then you saw Ali Husseini.
I did.
Ali Husseini, one of those unfortunate situations, one of the potentially strongest supers ever that we just never had a chance to really see due to not passing drug tests.
Yeah, he held at one point the youth or junior snatch world record, 206 kilos, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And then of course he was popped. There's some conspiracy theories as to how and why he was popped. We won't go into those now.
Possibly for having an adverse sample.
Possibly because he threatened to beat all-time world records that certain athletes didn't want broken, but who knows whether that's true or not. It's just hearsay. But yeah, we saw him, got a photo with him as well, which was very cool. But there's a lot of good, I mean, for those of you who haven't been to a sort of major international competition, it's always amazing the number of legends who have competed in years past who you just might see walking by from another continent, from another decade. It's very cool to see.
Yeah, it's also cool to see how many athletes stay in the sport as either coaches, officials, maybe team leaders, maybe executives. So it's very cool to see that. You see a lot of these people here kind of just in the mix all the time.
Yeah.
Seemingly much more approachable, I'd say, as well, after their athletic careers. A lot of time when they're competing, when they're in the mix, they're a little focused, so not as approachable.
Yeah, Lord knows I wouldn't have walked up to Bedad Salimi or Saeed Al Husseini during the peaks of their careers back in the 2014 to 17 era. But now this is actually a somewhat historic session. We have an athlete from Bahrain, the first home athlete competing at these championships. She was going to be the first out, but she's actually jumped up. And so we're going to have the lifter from Brunei coming out now, Iman, who we've seen training in the training hall quite a lot. They have gotten a few names wrong over the last few minutes on the screen, so hopefully they'll sort that out, but Max and I will make sure to update you if anything does go wrong. Here's 52 kilos for the international debutante.
Solid opening snatch.
Yeah, Max, we've seen a few athletes have their first international performance here in Bahrain, and that might be the most technically solid of the openers. Often we see these athletes who've never competed internationally, they get a little bit shaky, things don't look quite as you'd expect, but that was pretty solid.
Yeah, very good position to be in for her too.
Yeah. And her coach you just saw right there is actually also her teammate. The two of them are the only athletes from Brunei at this competition. We see them train together side by side, and then when they're not training together, they're coaching each other in the back room.
It's efficient. It's an efficient model.
It is, yeah. Might not have the highest peaks, but it's cohesive at the lower numbers.
My guess would be that's by necessity.
Yes. Okay, so first lifter from Bahrain. Huge applause from the crowd. The entire Bahrain team is here, coaches, and looks like a lot of, I don't know who these people are sat at the front, Max, but a lot of official-looking people from Bahrain have turned up to watch their first athlete compete at these championships.
Bit of pressure on her here.
Yep. Yep, she just left it out in front.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Probably
nothing to worry
nerves,
about.
Yeah.
Right off the floor, it looked a little forward. She looked strong enough for it. It's funny, actually. She's relatively, I believe, new to the sport compared to some of these other athletes. And I watched her in training the other day. On the first day we turned up, I think it was Tuesday, 5 or 6 days ago, and she snatched relatively heavy. I can't remember the number, so it probably would help us with this commentary if I could. But then her coach had her drop down, put the 10s on. It was 35 kilos, and he made her just do hang power snatches for some technical reason.
Yeah.
And she kept saying to him, "This is too light. This is ridiculous. Why am I doing this so light?" But presumably he saw something that she didn't, which is that there's some technical work that needs to be done. Perhaps why she ended up missing that.
Yeah, it looked like she just was a little bit short on the pull.
Yeah.
That can happen. Nerves. You walk out there, you're focused on so many other things. You know, especially a venue like this where it's a little bit more compact. There's a little bit more stuff going on in front of you. You've got a much more packed house than you do in some of these other competitions we've seen. You know, Pan Ams or Europeans, where maybe the audience is spread out a bit.
Yeah.
It's very nice for the audience here, and I think it creates a much better energy. The fact that this is a little bit more compact. You've got a lot more people packing the audience, denser, but you know, potentially could be a little bit unnerving for a first-time athlete here.
Okay, so she had a 2-minute clock because she was following herself. She's taken just a minute. She's marched back out. She looks, as we see a lot with a lot of athletes, she looks a lot more focused now coming out after that first miss.
Yeah, much better.
So much nicer.
Yeah, really finished the pull on that a lot better.
Yeah. 54 kilos in the book. Her first international made lift. An incredible moment, a moment that she will never forget in front of a home crowd.
Big sigh of relief, too, on her face after that. She's walking off.
Yeah, we have seen historically in weightlifting that home nation athletes tend to compete significantly better than they normally do. It's partly the pressure, the extra resources that go into
lack of
the
travel
event,
as well.
the lack of travel, the support from the crowd. But occasionally we see things not go the right way. In Albania, we were out for the European Championships. The Albanian team, other than one 55-kilo athlete who's subsequently been popped. They all didn't do particularly well. Yeah, Ava got popped.
Oh, wow. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah. She actually works in the NHS in the UK, so shout out to Ava for the help. Okay, so here's Liana for a second attempt at 55, a kilo up on the last lift.
Very good pull. She's really patient with that, brought it all the way to her hips.
Yep, again, another comfortable lift.
One red.
She's got one more attempt remaining. She went 52 to 55. We'll see what she takes here. She's competed internationally before. Last time she snatched 52, so you know it's already 3 kilos up on her competition record. Looks like Aman's gonna come out for 56, a 2-kilo jump perhaps. Yep, she's gonna take this one.
Definitely going to be a little bit more relaxed on this attempt. We'll see if we can make a really solid effort here.
Yeah, she told us in an interview that she's not had any injuries this year, which has been great. I mean, in training match, she told us that she snatched 62 kilos, so this 56 should be manageable. And
Yeah,
it is. That's
looked a
so
lot better.
smooth.
Yeah,
Wow.
much better, much stronger.
That was, you know, I hate to make comparisons. That was very Yurik Vardanian, if you know what I mean. It was very smooth contact with the thigh, a very smooth turn. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, just a very smooth and comfortable looking lift. A very unique lifter he was.
Yes. Yeah, she's not quite as extreme in the hinging over at the hip and the high hips that he had, but certainly the contact is nice and smooth. It must be, you know, sort of funny for her to be in these slightly earlier stages of her, at least international career, training day in, day out, and then suddenly you're told by the federation, oh, by the way, Lesman Paredes, snatch world record holder, is now your teammate. And he is. I mean, we've seen in the training hall, they are on the platforms next to each other every single day. I mean, Lesman trains twice a day, she trains once, but for one session a day, they're side by side, and she gets to watch a world record holder train, which must be invaluable for her.
It's got to be inspiring, too.
That's a real,
really
shame that.
Great attempt, though. Really had a great presence to get the bar all with her hips before she exploded. She didn't try to rush under it, but maybe overdid it a little bit and just swung that behind.
Now, if we pull up the scoreboard, you're going to see that there's probably going to be a little... Okay, actually, no. One of the athletes just dropped down. I thought there was going to be a little bit of battling as athletes pick their numbers up, but Shrabani has dropped from 78 down to 74, so she will come out first. But then there might be a little bit of jostling between Windy and Juliana, and potentially also Abdullaeva. We'll see how that goes. Okay, 74 kilos is the weight on the bar for the opening attempt of Shrabani Das from India. Her best performance so far gave her a 78-kilo snatch, so a pretty heavy opener for her.
Very strong, though.
Yeah,
Perhaps
very nice, very easy.
Considerable progress in her strength there, because that was an easy opener.
Extremely large team they've got at these championships. Some of the top athletes haven't turned up. As we mentioned yesterday, Mirabai Chanu, the world record holder in the 49s, who just got off winning the Commonwealth Championships, games, is in the USA currently for the training camp, but a lot of Team India is here at these championships. Okay, so up to 77 kilos. Looks like she's going to follow herself max. Potentially she'll bump to 78 just to buy herself some more time. They've got 2 other athletes in at 78. But she does have 2 minutes to follow herself, so that might be all she needs.
Yeah. Doesn't look like they're going to change. That might be just too big of a jump, 4 kilos for her.
And also, this 77 sets her up nicely for a personal best.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she can hit 79, she'll be walking away with a personal record, which is pretty solid. Her last few competitions, she snatched 54, 56. She then had 6 years out of competition between 2016 and 2022. She came back, she snatched 78 at the Junior World Championships. That was back in May of this year. She placed 7th there, 78, 103. And then she was at the Asian Junior Champs just 2 months later, in July of this year, where she snatched 74 kilos. So she's already equaled that.
That's a very long break, 6 years.
Yeah.
It's 2016 to 2022.
Mm-hmm. And she's 20 years of age, so I guess she was 14, she was training, she was a youth, she competed in these youth competitions, then maybe it was schooling or something got in the way, but she's back now. Pleased that we've managed to get that top cam sorted as well. It's quite a good look. Here we go, 77 for Shrabani.
Oh, very good.
Really nice lifting.
She's made considerable progress here. That looks really good.
Yeah, that's great technique. It's one of those lifts as well where it doesn't look like an inch forward or an inch back she'd miss it. She sort of sinks in. It's like she, her weight is nicely balanced in the middle of her foot. She's got just enough of a sort of inclination of the torso or an incline of the torso, sorry, to be able to save the weight a little bit. Yeah, just really nice, very comfortable.
A very solid, almost textbook-looking lift. She did hop back a little bit, but the bar came with her.
I mean, I didn't want to pick her apart too much, Max, but okay. If you want to go there, we'll go there. Okay, so we had 2 athletes at 78. One of them, Windy, has moved up to 80, so that's calling out Juliana Clarissa from Indonesia, who we filmed a lot of in the training hall over the last few days. I've certainly seen her snatch over 70 kilos a few times in the training hall recently. Very, very nice technique, phenomenal lockout.
Also very good snatch.
Yeah.
A little hop back, but still really, really solid. We're seeing a little more consistency here in this session than previous.
Yeah, it's a really nice lift.
Yeah, a lot of really successes too.
Okay, well, that was Juliana from Indonesia. A 79 kilo opener. She has a competition best of 83 kilos. Max, while we're waiting, I actually pulled up a video of Linglong Yu, who we're going to see later, snatching 100 kilos. Like I mentioned earlier, she has snatched 102 kilos, equaling the world record in competition, national competition. Here's a video of her snatching 100 kilos, and this from just over 2 years ago. So she's had a lot of time to work even since then. Let's see what you make of this. An enormous lift for the 55 kilo category.
Yeah, she's an exceptionally good snatcher, obviously.
Pretty nice, isn't it?
100 kilos, basically not even offering any resistance there. That was an easy lift.
Okay, so here is Windy Isa from Indonesia. At her last competition, she took the gold medal in the lighter 49 kilo category. She snatched 83 at 102, and that was the Junior World Championships. She is the Junior World Champion.
Yeah. Very strong pull, but just a little bit forward when she landed with that.
Yeah.
Kind of landed toes first, ending up having to just settle in and make that. Could be nerves. We've seen that a bunch, that some of these lifters are coming out. Also a little bit younger, too.
Yes, she is. 20
Obviously
years
not
or 19, actually.
Yeah, and not inexperienced, being a junior world champion, but definitely, the years and time just give you an athlete a chance to mature and be a little bit better at that initial lift right off the start of the meet.
Yeah, she's had 4 international wins so far. The Southeast Asian Games in 2019, the Asian Junior Championships she won in 2020. She won the 2021 Junior World Championships and the 2022 Junior World Championships. So she is an extremely good lifter. Here we have Poisson Yodsan, who, Max, you and I watched yesterday in the training hall.
Yeah.
Commented just how incredibly muscular her thighs are, actually. She's got a very strong squat compared to a lot of these athletes in the field. She snuck under
Very
that
strong,
one.
yeah. Strong pull, but like you said, really didn't have that much height on it. So
No,
she's
yeah.
kind of sneaking under. Almost caught it with her arms slightly in front of her head and
Yep.
kind of rolled the bar back into position.
Yeah, absolutely. The bar just sort of didn't gain the height that I almost expected, considering the speed of the pull to the hip. It sort of almost like died, you know, got caught on a belt or something.
Yeah, it almost looks like as the bar passed her knees in that transition, she sort of lost some bar speed.
Yep.
Ended up having to kind of catch it a little bit forward and get it back there. Could just be a matter of just mistiming that explosion.
Yeah, and she's coming off the back of becoming the Asian Junior Champion. She competed just a few months ago. She won 81 kilos in a snatch there, so to be opening at 80. Heavy, heavy snatch. Here's Shrabani's second attempt now. Oh, third attempt, isn't it? At 80 kilos. The first 2 looked incredibly comfortable.
Oh. You know, great pull, but
Yep.
just a lot of power. Wasn't quite going vertical enough at the top there. Swung it out a little bit and just, we saw her on the first 2 jump backward a little bit, and this time the bar just kept going.
It did, yeah. Well, it's still it's 1 kilo shy of her personal best, but even so, 77 kilos will be on the bar for her. Let's take a look at the scoreboard quickly so you can see who we still have left to open. Linglong Yu's put in 90 kilos. That's the heaviest opener of the pack. We know that she can snatch at least 102 kilos, which is unbelievable, so she may well bump that up even. Abdullaeva from Uzbekistan's put in 82. Kristina Shamatova also at 82. And then the once world champion, in fact, I think she's still, is she still a world champion from 2014? Or did she lose that medal too? She certainly lost her Olympic gold medal. But we're talking about Zulfiya Chinshanlo here.
I believe it's everything after that.
Everything after that, yeah. So she might have lost that. Okay, here is Juliana from Indonesia. Her second attempt. She made 78 on her opener. Here's 81. Very fast.
Yeah, hips came up a little bit quick off the floor there. Maybe caused her to swing that bar at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a miss there.
Let's see if the replay shows us anything. Not quite.
Nice overhead shot. It's a cool shot, but it doesn't help with technical analysis.
The classic overhead analysis of the lift.
Yeah. You know, if there's one angle a coach wants to see, it's directly from above.
Generally what you ask for.
Yeah, yeah. That's why gyms are often so tall these days. They rent out these, you know, units and up the coach climbs.
Yeah, the weightlifting house coach's ladder, I believe, is the item for sale.
Yeah,
10% off.
Well, it's got knurling, you see, on the steps, so easy grip. Yeah, it doesn't turn though. It doesn't rotate, so it is easy to climb. You don't slide off. Okay, a few technical difficulties, but we're back and running now. 81 kilos, the weight on the bar. Looks like Juliana's going to retake that lift. If she makes it, it'll be 2 kilos shy of her personal best. She does have one of the larger clean and jerks in the pack, however, 108 kilos. 110 kilos we've seen from Windy. 117 from Shamatova, who is still yet to come out. Of course, Zulfiya Chinshanlo has by far the heaviest. I mean, Max, let's just compare this. I mean, the world record clean and jerk in the 55s is 129. As a 56, Zulfiya did 134, which is clearly the superior lift.
53?
Sorry, 34.
Yeah, 134, but was she a 53 lifter?
Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah, I'm getting my weight classes confused. It was the 53 to the 58, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She was a 53.
Yeah, even more impressive.
Yeah. No wonder she got popped. she does actually still own that World Championships title and that world record of 134. It's only the Olympic
Potentially
competition
it's
that
a
will take
2-year sanction, so.
You know what? That jump back is just a little bit too far.
Yeah, same thing. When those hips come up quickly like that, it's difficult to keep the bar moving vertically. You're going to have some horizontal displacement, and a lot of it's going to end up swinging that bar way behind her.
Okay, so I think we're going to see the opening attempt now of Abdullaeva at 82 kilos. Speaking of Abdullaeva, there's another Abdullaeva as one of the technical officials for this session. Zukra Abdullaeva, also from Kazakhstan. So 82 kilos. This is a 2 kilo personal record, Max. So
very heavy opener.
Yeah, we'll take a look at when the last time she competed was. It might have been a while ago. So last year, just over a year ago, she last competed, so she's made some progress.
Oh, very strong.
I think that's the nicest looking lift we've seen in the session so far. The Uzbek team is certainly one of the best in the world now. They've made a real name for themselves in recent years. Of course, they have 2 Olympic champions in their midst. They've got Ruslan Nurudinov, 2016, and Akbar Jurayev, 2020. Interestingly, Akbar Jurayev moved up to the super heavyweight category, and Ruslan Nurudinov has decided to move down to the 102s, as the 109 category is no longer an Olympic category, so they've split up to see how they will fare. Here's Kristina Shamatova from Turkmenistan with her opening attempt now at 82 kilos.
You'll notice a lot of the athletes are actually relatively tall, taller than I would expect for this class.
Yeah, Kristina potentially the tallest of the bunch.
Again, just a little bit short on that. Tried to sneak under the bar a little too early, didn't finish the pull.
No weight. 82 kilos.
So 2 athletes still yet to open. The first of whom will be Zulfiya Chinshanlo, but not yet. There are a few lifts between then and now. And then Linglong Yu from China at 90 kilos. For those of you who missed us talking about Linglong Yu at the start of this session, we think it's going to be a case of Linglong getting as big a lead as possible over Zulfiya Chinshanlo in the snatch, and then Zulfiya Chinshanlo, who has the stronger clean and jerk, looking to do everything she can to overtake Linglong. Although with that said, I mean, in recent years, Max, Zulfiya's been in sort of low 120s.
Yeah.
We've seen Linglong hit 121 at a national competition, so China might be able to sneak a second gold of the competition here.
Yeah, ultimately too, she could just surpass Chinshanlo here with that 90 snatch opener.
You know, if Zulfiya ends up taking the silver, that will be the second silver for Kazakhstan of the day. Okay, 83 kilos, second attempt for Windy. As we mentioned earlier, she's just moved up from that 49 kilo category. She is a 2-time junior world champion.
Oh, beautiful snatch.
Yeah, that bottom position is just incredible.
Excellent looking technique.
She's just been, you know, her technique has been drilled so nicely.
Yeah. Yeah, that was just flawless. I mean, really just a spectacular looking lift.
Yeah, there are a few athletes out there who they move in a certain way where you just know that they were performing this lift, you know, a decade earlier, you know, when they were, you know, 9, 10 years old. You see a similar thing with an athlete like Rip Vasuharis comes to mind.
Yeah.
You know, he might not win all the time, but you see him just time and time again moving with absolute perfection. Every movement is exactly the same, and she's in that similar position. Here comes Poisoon-San from Thailand, 83 kilos for her second attempt. Max, on the first attempt, we mentioned that the pull to the hip was strong, and then she sort of lost a little bit after she made contact, a little bit of height.
She just decelerated that bar in the middle of the pull. take a look here on her pull as she transitions past the knee.
Okay.
Much better than the first, but you can still see a little bit of a slowdown there. The knees come back onto the bar, shifting her into that final power position, but she's able to make it. But you can see it almost catches the bar slightly forward, just a little bit forward of where she wants to receive it, and then it rolls back or kind of moves back into that position behind her head finally after she catches it.
Yeah, and that's a great side angle. Hopefully we can get a little bit more of that for these replays of these lifts. 83 kilos now, the second attempt for Kristina Shamatova. She missed her opener max at 82. So
yeah, it looked like she just rushed through that one, tried to get under the bar a little bit early.
it's actually been a pretty successful open rate in this competition.
Yeah.
We've had 6 athletes make their openers. 2 weren't able to. Let's see how she gets on here.
Yep.
It's a very similar miss to the first one. That looked slightly better, I would say. Slightly more of a correction.
Definitely an improvement, yeah. But still not enough. It's not a good spot to be in when you've missed your opener, then increased and missed your second, making the same error. You know, the question now becomes, are they going to repeat this, or are they going to try buy more time going to 84, which is definitely a risky move.
Yeah, very risky. Yep, Shamatova's best snatch. 93 kilos. I'm going to take a look and just go ahead and assume that she must have been in the heavier category coming down when she did that. No, actually.
Wow.
At the Olympic Games last year, in this category, she snatched 90 kilos. So she is quite a way down on this, man.
Been hitting over in the 85 plus range almost every meet
for the last 3 years, yeah. Well, she snatched 93 kilos back in 2018.
Yeah, this will be the first time, if she's successful with this, that she's snatched less than 85.
This will also be her first ever bomb out if she misses.
Yeah, potentially.
Gosh,
A glass half empty scenario, Seb, yes.
Right, there she is in the back room. She's getting a talking to from her coach. Just stretching out her upper back there, it looks like, Max. Or her shoulders.
Yeah, you know, the problem is definitely not in her upper body. It's what's happening at the end of the pull there.
Right.
She's just not getting that bar back into position. But potentially she has maybe some mobility issues that prevent that. We'll see. We'll see if that little stretch out made a difference here. A lot of pressure on this one.
Hopefully the crowd, though not full of lifters from Turkmenistan, will sort of pull together to cheer on for this lift. That's a lot better.
Much better.
So much better. Everything was corrected for that lift.
Yeah. It's got to be a bit unfortunate to have taken 3 attempts to make an opener there.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially considering her strength in the snatch.
Yeah. She actually told us, we spoke to her earlier, she said that she's been trying all year to set personal records, but she just hasn't been able to. She said she's been trying very, very hard, but she's not been able to do it. Okay, let's pull up. In fact, no, let's not pull up the scoreboard because we've got Abdullaeva coming straight back out. Her second attempt, she made 82 on her opener. That was already a 2 kilo personal best. This will now extend it by another 2.
Something interesting to note just about the costume. Years ago, obviously the rules were changed to allow for a full body suit to be worn. Very nice snatch, great lockout.
Amazing.
But if you'll notice from the front view, the black color of those sleeves blends in perfectly with the background. You can't even see the elbow or distinguish anything there. So a unique situation. I don't think she needs to obscure the view of her elbows because she has a fantastic lockout.
Yeah, she does.
But definitely one of those scenarios that some people would try to take advantage of.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones where the center referee might give three reds and have absolutely a great view because the back just behind her, she can see, but the two side referees, those elbows are really against that black background. Okay, we'll take a look at the scoreboard quickly because we think we might now have the opening attempt of Zulfiya Chinshanlo, 85 kilos. A quick reminder for all of you a bit about Zulfiya Chinshanlo. In 2012, she won the Olympic Games, but then she got popped. She was disqualified for that. She returned in 2014 to compete at the Asian Games, which she took the silver medal at. She then won the World Championships in her home country of Kazakhstan. There she set a world record of 133 and then 134 kilos. It's a very odd coaching decision, but she upped her own world record by a kilo, 2 lifts in a row. And since then she's sort of had a sprinkling of third places from World Championships to Olympic Games to slightly smaller competitions. She's now decided to go up to 88 kilos, which is going to call out 3 other lifters who've got 86 kilos written. There's Wendy Isa, who looks like she's coming out next. There's also Abdullaeva and, of course, Poisson Yodsan, all 3 at 86 kilos. Linglong Yu seems stubbornly set on 90 kilos for her opener for now. Here's the 2-time junior world champ.
Beautiful snatch on the last one.
A kilo under her personal best.
Oh, just fantastic. Incredible lift. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. That one was just perfect.
3 white lights. A brilliant lift for Wendy Isa. Not a problem. 3 for 3. It's what you expect from an athlete who's been lifting, well, I guess for a long time, though she is still young, but she's just got so much experience. So 2 lifts remain until we see the battle for what we imagine to be the battle for the gold in well, the snatch, clean jack and the total. It's going to be Zulfiya Chinshanlo versus Linglong Yu, but the battle potentially for bronze, I mean, who knows, maybe one of these athletes is going to move up into a slightly higher medal position in the total, but certainly for now we have this little battle going on between Wendy Isa, we just saw, she just snatched 86, the other 2 have quite rightly bumped up to 87. They're looking for a snatch medal. We'll see Abdullaeva come out first. This will be a 7 kilo personal record.
I think Poisson's up.
Poisson's coming out, yep. So Poisson at 87 kilos first. This a 5 kilo best for her if she makes it.
Now she has a little tendency to leave the bar forward on the catch. A little bit more weight. We'll see if she corrects it.
She gave that everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a split second she had it. She turns around, thanks the crowd for the support. She doesn't look too disappointed.
Yeah, still in a decent spot there, but not going to be medal contention.
No, I mean, she's 20 years of age. She comes out, she gets a big personal record at 83 kilos. It was a gutsy 4 kilo jump to go for that medal spot, and she gave it everything. But that's going to leave the door wide open for Abdullaeva, who's going to come out now at 87 kilos. Also, we just got note that there were a few audio problems. We weren't aware of that at the time, but behind the scenes, things were getting sorted. So apologies for any issues, but thank you all for sticking around. Here comes Abdullaeva now, her 3rd and final attempt, 87 kilos. This to sneak a medal in the snatch, Max.
She's been excellent thus far, so we'll see how this turns out.
The speed on that
just
pull is amazing.
Beautiful lift.
She's the kind of lifter where within 2 inches of the pull, you just feel comfort knowing that she's going to make it.
Exactly.
That
As
is
soon as the bar
such a
starts to
good
move off the ground, you know it's going to be a good lift.
It moves with the right speed. It moves with the right acceleration, the right direction.
Yeah.
Everything about that, you just know this is going to be a good lift.
Yeah, you can see her really taking her time in the start position, just getting ready to be, you know, to execute perfectly there. Interesting, this has unfolded here. Chinshanlo's bumped to 90 now.
Wow.
And Linglong is the lifter up.
Yeah. We'll see if she's going to bump up too. We know that she has hit a heavier snatch. Yeah, it looks like Linglong is going to come out. It's worth mentioning as well, Abdullaeva, the youngest athlete in the field, just 18 years of age. So to sneak a medal in snatch there, phenomenal. And who knows, with these two pushing each other, one of them might miss all three.
Yeah,
could end up with more than a bronze. The chance of Jiao, Linglong Jiao coming from the crowd, from the Chinese athletes and coaches.
So as it looks now, 90 for both of them as openers, definitely favoring Chinshanlo because her best is only 96.
Yes.
It's pretty close to that. Linglong's 12 kilos from hers. Incredibly strong snatch.
That is so nice. It
Maybe
doesn't get a lot better than that.
Maybe she plans on a 5, 6, 7 kilo jump here.
Yeah.
Just a very easy opener.
97, 103 world record, perhaps.
Possibly.
Now, what's interesting is yesterday, it's not particularly heavy when you compare it to her top lifts, but I saw her in the training hall, she snatched 65 or 70 kilos at least 5 times. She clean and jerked up to 90 kilos as well. So not a particularly heavy workout, but compared to some of these athletes in the field, that's a pretty good workout to do the day before competition. Okay, here comes Zulfiya Chinshanlo. She looks focused. Very comfortable on the competition platform. A personal record of 98 in competition.
Whoa. What an incredible adjustment at the bottom.
Yeah,
I thought she missed that. Yeah. Wow.
That comes from experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a mixture of experience and just athleticism.
Yeah, she is incredibly strong as well.
And there's not a lot that the coaches can say to her. I don't imagine these young coaches have almost nearly as much experience as even she does.
Yeah.
They're just there to
moral
support her, and get her water when she asks for water and get out of the way when she tells them to move.
Yeah, that was a very impressive lift.
Now I feel, I'm sure you agree, in fact the two of them sat incredibly close together there. That's got to be intense. But I would have thought that, Linglong Yu looks like the stronger lifter in the snatch.
Yeah, for sure. A lot more speed on the pull.
Yeah, a lot more height.
Yeah, definitely built for it better. But if Chinshanlo here can stay in the mix, can stay within a few kilos, and she's in shape, what looks like to be maybe snatching in close to her best, we can assume that possibly she's in shape to clean and jerk near her best, and she should be able to surpass whatever lead is established by Linglong. But it really comes down to, was that 93 from Chinshanlo, or that 90 from Chinshanlo, near limit, and she just opened extremely heavy, or does she have a lot more?
Limit, I'd say. I mean, her all-time best, the 98. I don't think she's going to be at that sort of level. But her last 5 competitions, she's snatched 90, 92, 85, 93, 84. But I mean, 1992, there's a 93 in there, so I imagine that this 93, unless she's in better shape now than she has been, or than she was for the Olympics, I don't imagine she's going to be able to do too much more than this lift here.
Yeah.
But who knows? Let's see. 93 kilos. So 204 pounds on the bar for the Kazakh lifter.
Yeah, the pressure is really on her here to get as close as she can to her competitor.
She knows she's strong in the clean and jerk. It's about how close she can remain. Much better.
Wow. Yeah.
Phenomenal.
She's very, very capable.
you know, she finds an extra couple of inches of depth in the bottom of that overhead position, doesn't she?
It's remarkable, that position she gets into at the bottom there. Got a very wide grip on the bar, shorter arms, obviously, you know, and you can see that
Very
just
wide.
that extra depth there. The bar just drops into that groove as she turns it over. It's really impressive.
Yep. She pulls it so close to her body. Here is Linglong Yu coming out now for her second attempt.
I can't imagine this 95 will even be challenging for her based on how strong that 90 opener was.
Yeah, with Zulfiya, if she misses, it looks like it's not for lack of strength necessarily. Her technique is really nice. If Linglong misses this, I'll be surprised if it's not just a random technical nervous mistake, because the strength that she had on that 90 kilo opener is incredible. Coach yelling words of perhaps instruction or encouragement. Remember, the world record is 102 kilos. Brilliant stuff. That was nice in the opener.
Yeah.
That is world class.
Now,
there are very few who've made 95 look like that.
Will Chinshanlo take 95 or 96 here? Is she going to go for the extra kilos? Possibly put herself in a spot here to maybe capture a little bit more on her total.
They both had the same opener from the snatch. They both put in for the same opener in the clean and jerk at 115 kilos. It's way above anything that anyone else has put in. I don't know, Max. I want her to go for the 95.
Here,
it just seems like the safe thing to do.
Yeah, definitely a smart move here. She needs to build that total.
If she gets this, it's going to be tough for Yu Linglong to escape the clean jerk prowess of Chinshanlo. Very comfortable on the platform. She takes the time.
Waiting for that 30-second buzzer.
Yep.
This will be an incredible lift here. Most she's done in a few years.
Yep.
Oh,
and,
and she does it. Wow.
Just
all incredible. Holy cow. That was a remarkable lift. I think she even realizes it.
She found an extra gear of strength
there.
I mean, the pull right off the floor was quicker than the 1993.
That was really, really impressive.
Exceptional stuff. My word, we need to see a replay of that ASAP. 98 loaded on the bar for Yu Linglong. Looks like she's coming out for it.
Yeah.
She also looks focused. Yu Linglong coming out so quickly that we're not going to have time for a replay of the 95. But hopefully this will be an incredible lift also. Just stares it down.
Well, she knows she's capable of this. And the last two have got to be confidence inspiring because they were extremely strong. Does only give her 3 kilos up on Chinshanlo. She's successful here.
This is a kilo over the junior world record. How old is?
Oh,
wow.
That might be a press out on that right arm.
Let's see it. She's going to celebrate it.
Oh, 3 reds. Wow.
She knew. She didn't.
Yeah.
She didn't flinch when the 3 reds popped up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Interesting turn of events here. They're tied in the snatch now. This is really going to favor Chinshanlo here.
They say that we've got a battle on our hands here.
Yeah.
I think that's. Is that what they say? 95 kilos apiece between Zulfiya Chinshanlo and Linglong Yu. You know, it always feels good when in advance of a competition you hype up the right battle.
Yes.
We've been saying it that the battle's going to be between these two, and there's always in the back of your mind you think, well, what if Chinshanlo's not in shape, or what if, you know, something happens? But for them to go neck and neck, 95 kilos apiece, great shape from both of them. You know, neither of them have hit this much in competition in, well, in Linglong's case, internationally ever, and in Zulfiya's case, in years.
Yeah, really, really solid competition here.
And can see them both. Slightly different ways of getting through this next 10 minutes. Linglong finding a bit of peace and quiet. We've seen plenty of athletes do this in the past. They cover themselves with towels on their top, on their lower half, just staying as warm as possible whilst resting. Neither of them need to warm up for a while.
Is it Chinshanlo looking to have a snack there, which I do agree with. I think that's important. You want to make sure
snacks, do we have anything
doesn't sneak up on
around me? I haven't even had lunch yet. It's 5 p.m. in Bahrain. I think we have to find some food after this session.
Yeah.
So Max, the gold medal to Linglong, she hit it first. The silver to Zulfiya Chinshanlo. Both of them hit 95, and then the bronze medal in the snatch to the youngest lifter in the field, Abdullaeva from Uzbekistan, who went 3 for 3, one of 3 athletes to do so. 82, 84, 87. We have another young athlete, Windy Isa, the 2-time junior world champion, 4th, 86 kilos. There's an 83 below that. That's Kristina Shamatova from Turkmenistan. And then there's a bit of a drop-off, I think. So it's going to be an exciting battle for that bronze medal.
This is a very good session as well.
Yep.
Very few misses there. A lot of successful lifts. 3 lifters all going 3 for 3 there.
Is that a replay of the 95? It is.
Yeah.
I mean, the depth that she found there is so impressive. I mean, what always amazes me with athletes like Chinshanlo in terms of technique is how they're able to hold on to a weight like that with such a wide grip.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind. You know, she's got short arms and she's out almost as wide as, you know, Lesmond Paredes in the 96 kilo category. So she's almost collar to collar. And she's still able to hold on even when there's a little bit of movement overhead.
Yeah, she's got 2 things working against her there, because she's got incredible depth in the squat and a really wide grip, which just reduces the margin for error overhead. So it just goes to show how accurate, how solidified and masterful her technique is, that she's maximizing the grip with and the depth in the squat and able to stabilize that bar without missing it forward or back. It's really impressive to see.
There's Iman from Bahrain. We spoke to her a few days ago about her training. She mentioned that basically every day she feels like she's getting better. Training in 2022 has been really smooth. As we mentioned earlier, she said that she'd snatched 62 kilos in training, so she was a little bit of a way down, but that probably comes from nerves. There she is with what looks like 35 kilos on the bar. She said that she's clean and jerked, however, as much as 78 kilos. Right now we have that she's put in her opener at 70 kilos, so yeah, that's about right.
The math checks out.
Well, I'd be surprised if she put in, you know, say 80 kilos for her opener. But
a very bold strategy.
There's Shamatova, who snatched 83 kilos. Every single lift looked better and better. She went miss, miss, make, each time getting better. That third attempt looked like she could have put on several more kilos on the bar. I think it has to be mentioned, Max, just how much respect goes out to the supportive structure that the Chinese athletes have around them. I notice that every competition I go to, in the training hall and in competition, there are other countries that do this. You know, we see this with Taipei does this a similar thing, but certainly with Team China, the athlete walks out onto the platform and everyone is there, you know, in the crowd, and they chant the athlete's name, they chant Jiao. They, you know, even in the training hall, we watched earlier as Lu De Lin built up to, it was 210 kilos in about
230.
230, and it did it in about 3 minutes, but as he approached
the
bar,
they were pulls.
They were hang snatches, Max. We must tell the people that they were hang snatches. And he, you know, he walks up to the bar, he yells, and there's a unified return chorus as they all pull together to cheer on the athlete. And it's great to see. You never feel like an athlete in Team China is sort of left on their own.
Yeah, it's an impressive show of force, really.
Yeah. There's Poisson Yodsan on your screen. Very strong legs. She's put in 100 kilos for her opening attempt. I saw her back squatting 100 kilos 2 days ago. Yesterday we watched, didn't we? She was drilling the snatch at 50 kilos.
Yeah.
And the head of Thai weightlifting, who is just to our, in front to our right there, I think she might also be the president of the Asian Federation, or she's maybe not, but she's high up in the Asian Federation. She was there just critiquing over and over again, do it again, do it again, just trying to make her move a little bit better.
Yeah, just a very methodical approach there.
Linglong clearly listened, Matt. She's also having a snack, so
well,
she must have heard your wise words.
Are we I don't think we're broadcasting in China, but
no, we're not.
I'm glad they got the advice somehow. It's good.
Yeah, I think someone was listening and passed on your words. I think you can expect a call from the Chinese national team later, bringing you in to help with Liu Xiaojun's return to full strength.
I would imagine so. A man who does need a snack or two at this point in time. It wouldn't hurt.
No. Yeah, it's going to be a brutal cut down to the 73s for Liu. But I don't know if you saw, he actually snatched 130 kilos a couple of days ago. Which
I did.
He was down in the 90 kilo category. Sorry, he was down in 90 kilo snatch not long ago. So to already be back up at 130 is not bad.
Quick progress for him.
Yep. Pause back squatting 200, front squatting around 180-ish. Whether or not he'll be able to get back to the level of Shi Xiong, I don't know. World record holder in everything. Snatch, clean, jerk total, 169, 198. But it would be an amazing story if you could do it. You'd be 40 years of age in Paris if he's able to take that 73 kilo slot.
Yeah, it's for sure one of those stories we're all going to be following, I imagine, going into it.
There is always the fear opportunity, I don't know quite how to say it, that if both of them are in the top 8 and it looks like both of them would win, there is the opportunity for China to essentially remove Shi Xiong and withdraw him to allow Liu Xiaojun to have the story of becoming the first weightlifter ever to win 4 golds.
Yeah, and
with that said, though, if Shi Xiong goes, he'll get a 3rd gold medal.
Right, and sets him up.
It sets him up to do a 4th, and he's a younger athlete, so it might be more likely that he's the one that could actually get a 4th.
Yeah, it's a very interesting scenario. The 4 consecutive golds in the same sport is such a coveted thing. Less than half a dozen people, I believe, have done it in any sport.
Is that true?
Yeah, consecutive in the same events. Obviously, swimming and whatnot. They hand them out like candy. medals
galore
there.
You got one back in '96.
Yeah, if you can get in the pool and get out, you're going to get something.
Some kind of record.
But yeah, I think only maybe a few, notably out order. U.S. thrower.
Well, I think actually what you meant to say was most notably Sir Steve Redgrave,
Yeah.
British
rower.
rower.
Yeah.
5 Olympic
5
golds.
medals. 5 golds, yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. When you can compete in one event rather than in swimming, like you said, it's pick and mix. In 20 events, get a few world records, easy job.
It's a grab bag of events.
It is. Everyone they hand out those records like candy. But yes, the Steve Redgrave, just 5 Olympics in a row from, was it 88 he started? I think 88, 92, 96, 2000, then got his final one in 2004. Just an incredible story. But yeah, we haven't seen anyone in weightlifting achieve that. Is there any reason, Max, why maintaining potentially strength and speed might be a little bit different to maintaining, cardiovascular endurance?
Oh, for sure. I mean, just what's required from a physiological standpoint is so much greater for power sports. As you lose elasticity in the muscles as you age, as you lose elasticity in your joints and just your ability to move quickly, that's going to have a big impact. Just a small decrease in that ability is going to have a huge impact on your ability to make heavier lifts. So it's remarkable to see anyone of Liu's age even competing at that level, let alone potentially being a winner there. We've only seen a few people ever get to that level of 3 golds with a shot at a 4th. So yeah, it'll be an amazing story.
Certainly makes the Liu Xiaojun story just that much more incredible. Okay, that's the end of our 10-minute break. Clean jerks are now underway. We have the lifter from Brunei, Liana, coming out for her first attempt. We have seen her compete internationally before, but not many times. Her best clean and jerk ever, 63 kilos. So again, she's certainly made an improvement. Very similar pull to in the snatch.
Interesting jerk there. That back foot was completely flat on the platform.
Yeah.
Definitely not traditional technique or typical technique. A lot of times coaches really want to have that back heel off the ground,
Yeah.
just from a stability standpoint and a little bit better range of motion to have your heel up off the ground.
When the heel comes up, the back knee can drop, which
Yep.
can't normally happen.
Also looked like the elbows maybe a little slow to lock out there.
Yep. All right, 2 minutes on the clock. She's going to follow herself. Leanne will take 66. Another, well, sorry, that's the automatic increase. We'll see what she does end up taking. 67 she's asked for. I wonder if she's got her eye on 70 kilos. Presumably a big milestone lift for her. We spoke about the world record in the snatch, the 102 kilos by Li Yajun from China. The clean and jerk world record is Lao Chiyun from China, 129 kilos, who I hate to say famously because she's done a lot of incredible things, but sort of famously lost at the Olympic Games to Heidelin Diaz in this category. Heidelin played an incredible game. She did brilliantly as an athlete. Her coaches did a fantastic job, 6 for 6. She took the gold medal. And Lao Chiyun, who holds the world record in the clean and jerk and total, was just outclassed on that day by a better team all around.
Yeah, that was really one of the Cinderella stories of the Olympics.
I actually was reached out to by a newspaper or a news site from the Philippines the day of the competition, asking me, as supposedly as an expert insider, what Heidelin's chances were of winning. And I actually wrote that she pretty much had no chance.
Wow.
Because her clean and jerk best was 121 kilos going into it.
Yeah.
And she ended up hitting, I think, 128 for the gold.
Yeah.
And I just had no reason to believe that she could do that.
Yeah,
and
no
I
one
actually
would.
sent an email afterwards apologizing because they published something saying that it was unlikely that she would win. And then she became the name of the Olympic Games for weightlifting. It was incredible. Certainly put me in my place.
I think we'll need a photograph of you holding that paper up at some point.
I believe all copies have been burnt. Here's 68 kilos for Liana's second attempt.
A little bit slow pull and then a little odd footwork there, but got the heel up on that one. It looks just almost a little green, a little bit new, you know, like not quite solidified there. Feet were kind of pitter-pattering on the catch and the clean, and then the back foot was better here on this lift than the last. Her heel was up, but just overall a little bit inconsistent.
So I imagine she is going to take 70 kilos. As we mentioned earlier, her best in competition was 63, so 70 kilos is a big jump up. But before that, we're going to see, so she's going up to 70. That's going to pull out.
Got a happy birthday celebration occurring here.
That's Nagisa Adilatuli, the Kazakh 96. Let's get the right angle. There we go. What on earth is going on?
I don't think I've ever seen a happy birthday celebration occur in between the loading of attempts.
This is
a
one of the
scenario.
Most bizarre things. I don't even think he's here.
Yeah.
In fact, we spoke to him on Instagram earlier. He doesn't arrive until Tuesday with his teammate Artem Antropov. So why they've decided to play a happy birthday in the middle of a competition?
It's a first for sure.
He's actually a big TikTok star.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. So he's got quite a following on Instagram. He's got maybe 70,000 followers. And then on TikTok, I think he's got even more. He's sort of like a sporting celeb in Kazakhstan. That was one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen
certainly
in a weightlifting competition. It was Akbar Jarayev's birthday yesterday. Why didn't he get? I mean, he's the Olympic champion. Why didn't he get a happy birthday?
That's really interesting.
Did he do that for his TikTok? Okay, here comes Iman from Bahrain for her first ever international clean and jerk. Really nice jump.
Yeah, overall solid lift there. She did have a little bit of a disconnect between the top of her pull and the turnover. I think she could do a little bit better job pulling herself under the bar. We got a replay, but we won't. Yeah.
She flicks those wrists back in the jug. It's very nice. Just helps her lock out a little bit. Tremendous lifting. And as we mentioned when we spoke to her a few days ago, she told us that she clean jerked 78 in training. So that 70 kilos we expected to look comfortable, and it did look pretty comfortable. I'm not sure we're going to see her go over 78, but you never know. Before that, Liana's going to come out for her final attempt at 70 kilos. A 7 kilo personal best if she makes it. Her coach and teammate yelling out legs.
Watch her footwork here. It wasn't very uniform on the last lift.
Yeah, and again, yeah, she twists around to the left.
But a strong enough jerk.
It's strong, yeah, it's strong. It's a great lift. And give her the down signal. A sigh of relief there, I think, just to be done with it all.
Yeah.
It's a good lift. She's going to go 5 or 6, 55 in the snatch, 70 in the clean and jerk. The first of 2 athletes from Brunei, an upcoming nation in weightlifting. So brilliant lifting there from her. We're now going to see 2 back-to-back lifts from Aman from Bahrain. She's asked for 73 as her next attempt. She made 70 on her opener.
I'm now, I have to admit, I'm on edge now for the surprise birthday announcements happening.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that maybe the 3 refs didn't get up and start clapping in unison and surround the platform.
For those of you who are here for the European Championships, you remember the name David. I think David started dancing in the corner over there. Okay, here comes Aman. 73.
Watch the top of her pull here. Yep, a little bit soft. Left that
Tough
bar
hand.
forward a little bit.
She's really got a nice jerk. I mean, there's an obvious difference in the technique of the jerk there between Aman and Liana. Both of them similar-ish numbers, but technically that jerk is really nice. Bent back knee, steps the front foot out nicely. The clean, you know, there's some work to be done there perhaps, but that jerk is really nice.
Yeah. I imagine got 73 here. We'll probably see something like 75 on this third.
Yep.
Maybe not the meat for her to go for a personal record.
No, not quite.
Especially with that last clean being a little bit forward, kind of crashing on her shoulders. She's going to have to be a little bit better about bringing that bar back into her as she goes under.
There we have in the crowd, we can see Brian Oliver, who writes for Inside the Games, being greeted by Esak, who has put on this entire competition. He's been fantastic in getting everything sorted, so those two just greeting each other in the crowd. But we're going to have Aman come back out again. She'll follow herself for a final attempt. She's made 4 consecutive lifts. She missed her opener at 54, but since then has gone on to do pretty well.
So 75 on the bar here.
Yeah, that's what we assumed she'd go for. It's a nice round number. It's, well, I guess all of these lifts are competition best. This is her international debut, but this pretty big lift for her to make. It's good to see that she's making full use of the 2-minute clock. It's always worth doing as an athlete. There's no rush, no need to come out and you know, risk still being somewhat fatigued. We can see Lesmond Paredes in the crowd, also greeting someone important looking. The snatch world record holder will be competing on, oh, I don't even know the date. I'm not going to try and tell you what date it is. It's 4 or 5 days. The schedule's at Weightlifting House. You can take a look there, but we'll see him snatch something enormous there. Here comes Aman.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you've been saying.
Kind of what we expected. Just didn't have that connection to the bar on the turnover.
Yep. She should be proud of herself. It's
Yeah.
her first international competition to make 4 lifts. Very good going. So we're going to jump up now. 23 kilos for the opening attempt of Wendy Isa, 98 kilos. She came 4th in the snatch at 86, the 2-time junior world champ. Now she's one of the lighter openers in the clean and jerk. 98, we have 4 lifters in at 100, 1 at 103, and then the 2 top runners, Linglong and Zulfiya Chinshanlo at 115 kilos. Get ready for a technically proficient lift here.
Very methodical pull, very solid.
Easy, snappy, a little forward, but
Yeah.
you know, that wasn't a tough lift for her at all. I imagine she's going to be able to push right up to around, you know, maybe 105 kilos, something like that. She does have a best of 110, so might be able to do even more than that, but I think it's going to come down to the stand in the clean. It's funny that I compared her to Ritvart Suharos earlier because, like Ritvart, she readjusts her elbows one at a time in the exact same way that Ritvart does it. It's not a common thing to see in weightlifting.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people try to make those movements as efficient as possible, but at the same time, you have to balance that with what's most comfortable and what feels best. A lot of this is about confidence going into one of the lifts. You know, you don't want to get into a situation where you're trying to adjust things or do things the way maybe someone else told you. If it just doesn't feel right, you need to feel confident. You need to feel like you're in the right position.
So here comes Shrabani Das from India. Her best ever clean and jerk, 103, but we know that she's in good shape. So let's see how she does here.
Her snatches were very solid.
They were.
Strong clean.
No problems there.
Pretty good lift all around here. She's very good technically on both lifts.
And she'll be pleased because she's got a total 177 kilos. That moves her into the silver medal position. She snatched, I think, 9 kilos less than Wendy Isa, so she's not going to overtake her despite having a slightly heavier opener in the clean and jerk. It's going to pull out Abdullayeva from Uzbekistan, who took the bronze in the snatch, the youngest athlete in the field, 18 years of age. She went 3 for 3 in the snatch, ended up with 87. It is 100 kilos for her. I think, Max, we can assume that she's going to be able to do significantly more than this because she got a 7-kilo competition record in the snatch, and this is her record in the clean and jerk. So presumably, we're going to see her push up towards the high sort of 107s, 8s.
Yeah, very good technically. The snatches earlier were really, really solid. Beautiful clean. A strong jerk.
Easy lifting.
A couple of very good all-around lifters here. Not quite at the same level of strength as Linglong or Chinshanlo, but definitely competent.
Okay, so we have 2 more athletes who put in 100 kilos for their openers. We have Juliana Clarissa from Indonesia, who we saw with a really technically nice opening snatch, and she just wasn't able to make her last 2. And then there's Poisian Yodsan from Thailand, will also take this weight after this attempt from Juliana. 108 is the most that we've seen from her in the past, so hopefully this shouldn't be too difficult.
Strong clean. Good jerk.
Yep. Eventually the worry is that there's just going to be a bit too much weight on the front leg
Yeah.
in that split jerk.
You can see that even that, she lands, that bar lands just a little bit forward of her head, and then finally rests behind that after she's solidified the split position.
Yep. She pulls that bar so high in the clean, it might have crashed on her a little bit, to be honest, but so strong in the leg, she gets up with it, no problem. And so, Poisson-Yotsan is going to come out, but actually she's going to come out at 101 kilos. She's just looking for a bit of a lead. We have two other athletes who've got 101 written in. Not that they're going to take it. In fact, one of them's just gone up, but Abdullayeva's still got 101, so she's going to be the athlete who minutes Poisson if Poisson misses it. But having seen her in training recently, I don't think she's going to have too much of an issue with this one. Same thing on the
very strong.
Yeah. It's interesting, Max, we mentioned in the snatch that the pull is fast off the floor and then it just doesn't accelerate after contact like you'd expect.
Yeah.
And right there we saw it again. It's almost like it hit some Velcro right at the thighs and it just lost a little bit of height. But she's so fast under, it didn't seem to cause any issue.
Yeah, she's definitely pulling the bar back into her hips as well. You can see it making contact, basically the same place the snatch does. A little bit less refined than some of the other lifters, but very strong. So we'll see how far that carries her.
Okay, Kristina Shamatova will come out next. For her opener, she snatched 83 kilos. She's one of the stronger athletes in the field. I mean, she only ended up, I say only, but she only ended up with 83 kilos. We know that she snatched 93 kilos. In the clean and jerk, she has hit 117 kilos, which is enormous. Assuming she's not in the shape she was then, because you know she was 10 kilos off in the snatch, she might be able to clean and jerk around the 110 mark. She's bumped up her opener now to 105. That's going to pull out Wendy Isa, a 5 kilo jump from her opener of 98. We know that she can also make up to 110 in competition, so we'll see what she does here with this one. It's unlikely to be the pull that's the issue for her, or even the jerk. I think if she runs into an issue at some point, it's going to be the standing.
Yeah, it's going to come down to how well she executes that clean.
She
Beautiful
has to get a bounce, but she does it well.
Yeah, just
the jerk's gorgeous,
excellent.
isn't it? Yeah. So it was 1 bounce on her opener. It was 2 bounces required on a second attempt. On that third attempt, it's going to be a fight to get up with it. But her timing, Max, the way that she meets the bar is really very nice. She doesn't waste any energy. There's no real bar crash.
Yeah.
It's a very smooth lift.
Yeah, she really has probably no other choice but to do it perfectly.
Yep.
She knows exactly how she's going to bounce, how she's going to gain that recovery. You know, it didn't look like it was unexpected. She knew what it's going to feel like. She caught the bounce and timed that second one just absolutely perfect. Recovered as easily as she could.
Yeah. So here comes Juliana. Probably not one of the athletes looking to get the bronze. There are 3 athletes sort of in the fight for bronze. Wendy Isa is one of them. Abdullayev the other, and then Shamatova, the other, who still hasn't opened yet. And of course, Chinshanlo and Linglong will be going for 1 and 2. But you never know, Juliana might be able to sneak a medal in the clean and jerk. She has hit 110 before. Or 108, so. Great job.
Yeah, much better than the last one.
Yeah. Once again, I think there must be a some sort of speaker in the back room that's connected to us, because, you know, everything we say, people are listening. Yeah.
Well,
you should eat something in between snatch, clean jerk, Max says. Before you know it, the Chinese team are doing it. More weight on the back leg. Before you know it, they're doing that too.
it's a thankless job, but someone has to do it.
Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to help these
Someone has
athletes
to
out.
steer this competition the right way.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the scoreboard quickly before Poisian comes out. You can see that she's got 103 written in, but she's not going to take it. She bumps up. Kristina Shamatova's dropped down from 105 to 104, so that's going to pull her out. If she makes this lift, she'll be at 187, which will be enough for third currently. Which just, well, you know, it's about building a total. She's got to get something in, so that's what we're going to see here. You know, technically she's got the second heaviest international clean and jerk here, behind Zulfiya, but I imagine Linglong is going to have something pretty big. I don't think that Shamatova's quite in the shape that she was when she hit that 117.
Yeah. Easy pull, but going to be difficult to recover on the clean.
Wow.
Doesn't quite get that bar in the right place.
Her knee is bugging her.
Yeah.
I mean, she caught that clean dead stop, stood it up from a pause. Not an easy thing to do, not least for someone with longer limbs. That tied her out, and then a very long split.
Yeah, she looked to be limping off as well. Yeah. Wondering if those knees are just a lot of tape on the knees, underneath the knee sleeves. So potentially just dealing with some chronic pain there.
Well, if she struggles to make clean and jerks, as she did her snatches, it might be that the battle for the bronze comes down to two. It might be between Wendy Isa and Abdullaeva, two youngest athletes, the 18-year-old versus the 20-year-old. Although we can't count out athletes like Shrabani, who's coming out for her second attempt now at 104. Music, very loud, coming down now for her.
Solid clean. She had a very strong jerk on her first.
Yeah, very nice again.
Yeah.
Straight back leg, but there's enough height on it, and there's enough of a sort of a stamp of authority to the front leg that there's no problem there.
Yeah, really good. The only issue she may struggle with is recovering in the clean there. You can see a little bit of difficulty on that one.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens with more weight, obviously, but...
Okay, so Abdullaeva's coming out now. There's the Uzbek coaches. This is going to be her second attempt. She's currently in second place, 2 kilos behind Wendy Isa. This will move her 2 kilos above Wendy, which is going to force Wendy to hit 106 for her third attempt. I just wonder, Max, if Abdullaeva's going to be just a bit too strong for Wendy Isa.
Yeah.
We'll see here.
Just a very solid technical lifter here.
Yeah, both of them phenomenal technique for such young lifters. Oh, you know what? It's going to be tough for her as well. I think she'll make it, but it wasn't the easiest of cleans.
Yeah, really solid jerk, though.
Wow.
That clean looked like maybe she just lost her balance and fell backward.
Yeah.
But
yeah, a couple bounces to just rock back into the middle of her foot again.
Yep. Still doesn't make it any easier.
And she's up.
Yeah.
So will it be Poisian? Most likely, rather than Wendy, who comes out next. Obviously, right now it says that it's going to be Wendy Isa, but Wendy Isa will likely go up because she's now fallen behind Abdullaeva. So she's going to have to go up to
Poisson is at
106.
105.
She's asked for. That's going to pull out Poisson now at 105, which you can see on the scoreboard. That will move Poisson up to 189, which will put her into bronze. Or 184, so 189, 188. Can't add up. Adding 4 kilos to a numbers is proving a little bit too difficult for me today. Okay.
Now take note of what the end of her pull looks like. She's going to pull the bar up, transition past her knees, make contact in her hip, the same position as a snatch, but seemingly lose a bit of acceleration there.
This will be a personal record internationally.
Yeah, little scoot forward. She got under, but it crashed on her. Make sure that jerk a little bit more difficult.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Amazing. Can she hold it? She can. The coaches in the back are thrilled for her. So is she.
Yeah, what a fight. What a great fight on that one.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Okay, so that switches things up slightly. She moves to 188. That puts her in the bronze medal position. Don't forget, we have 2 athletes still yet to come out. It's Linglong from China and Zulfiya Chinshanlo from Kazakhstan. They've both put in 115 kilos, which is just enormous. So the battle for bronze really, it's still ongoing. We've got one athlete at 189, one at 191, and one at 188. So 3 kilos in it between them. And this lift from Kristina Shermatova will put her in 4th. If she'd gone up a kilo, it would put her in 3rd, but she did miss her opener, so she just wants to get on the board. It was a tough clean on the last one, Max, and then the jerk was just left out in front.
Yeah, she had to stop in the bottom. Much better recovery.
Nicer. Well, the worry is if she can't make the jerk after the clean when she nails the clean like that, what does she have to do to make it on a 3rd attempt? I just don't know.
Still limping off too as well.
But with that said, she did it in the snatch. Miss, make. And then her 3rd attempt looked way better. So potentially a miss, make again. It's not going to be enough for a medal, but it will be enough for a total.
The assumption here is that they're probably going to go up for extra time because there are 5 lifters with 106 listed here.
But all of those lifters, I've sort of got 106s holding weights.
Temporary.
They're all trying to work out what's going on. I would not want to be a coach in the back room right now. You can see the table there, all the changes going in.
There's going to be a lot of changes here.
I'd love to help and try and predict what's going to happen, but I just don't know what these coaches are going to go for here.
Wendy is taking 106, it looks like.
Okay, well, that seems like the smart thing to do. Yeah. This 106 will move her up 3 kilos, put her at 192, a kilo above Abdullaeva. Will force Abdullaeva to make another attempt. And let's not forget, she needed 2 bounces on the last lift, 1 on the first to get up with it. If she can get up with it, she should be okay. Three
bounces.
Yep.
Like clockwork.
Oh, is it a front? I need to see a front angle on that.
Yeah, maybe a press out there. That right arm. She's wondering. 2 to 1.
It's a no lift. She is not going to be thrilled about that. The 2-time junior world champion doesn't know what it really feels like to not win. But, she's up in the seniors now. Not like it is in the juniors, so they're going to contest?
This is the first contested lift we've seen.
Oh, this is exciting.
By this time, at the Europeans, we had already seen maybe 30 or 40 contested lifts.
Yeah, yeah.
They were contesting everything.
Right, here we see it.
That right arm just takes a bit longer to lock out. You can see it.
It's the curse of the hyperextension. It's,
like we
the
said.
The hyperextension giveth, and the hyperextension taketh away. So that's going to, assuming they don't turn it over, that's going to leave Wendy in the second position right now. But she knows that Linglong and Chinshanlo are going to overtake her.
Wow.
What did they say?
I think they said good lift. They overturned. Wow.
That almost never happens in weightlifting.
I think that's the second time I've seen a lift.
Yeah.
Second or third time I've seen a lift overturned internationally. That's very rare.
I tell you what, if I was Abdullaeva, I'd be livid right now.
Yeah.
But Abdullaeva only needs to make 106, which is the weight on the bar, to move back ahead of Wendy Isa by a kilo. And presumably, if she makes it, she gets the bronze. She's pretty much guaranteed a medal at that point. I don't think anyone else is going to. Although, you know what? Hoisin Yodsan could make a big 110 if she need. A massive jump. She could go for it.
A huge jump.
Okay. Everything on the line. An almost guaranteed medal in the total at the senior level for the 18-year-old. It's going to be tough.
Good clean there.
Oh, you know what? She's got a great jerk. Brilliant.
Oh.
Just brilliant.
Solid.
I mean, what a she's 18 years old and she's clean and jerking 106 in the 55.
That's impressive.
I wasn't clean and jerking 106 when I was 18. Good grief, that's incredible.
Very
and
solid.
Now, I think we're going to get to see something else that's pretty special. I imagine Hoisin Yodsan is going to go to 110, a 7-kilo competition record for her, for the Thai lifter, to try and nudge. Oh no, she'll need 111, won't she? She'll need 111. Oh, I don't know if she's going to be able to do 111.
I'd be surprised if they put that on the bar after the last one. That's such a big jump.
It's huge. But before that, we have two other athletes who are not necessarily batting it out for medals, but they're still in the game. We've got 107 for Shrabani, 107 for Juliana, and 107 for Shermatova. Juliana will be the first to take it. 42 seconds on the clock. Final lift, kilo under her best ever. Now there was some bar crash on the last two lifts.
Yeah, the cleans were a little bit rough.
She does have a great lockout.
A much better clean this time.
Here we go.
Forward.
Did she transition from the dip to the drive quicker on that than the last two attempts?
Yeah, it looks like maybe she just rushed through that one, tried to get it done.
Well, you know what? She's smiling. She knows that she's had a tough battle there. She's gone 3 for 6, I believe. 78 in the snatch, 103 in the clean jerk, 181 total. It's not going to be enough for a medal in any of the lifts, but not a bad total for her. Here comes Shrabani now. 107. She made her first two lifts, 100 and 104. Competition best is 103. And again, if she makes this, it's not going to put into, well, she's not going to medal in the total, but It is a big personal best. Strong clean.
Just not there.
Yeah, she dipped a little bit faster than the bar, and she sort of lost connection with the bar on the dip.
Crashed back on her shoulders, the bottom.
Yeah, which we haven't seen her do. We've not really seen anyone do yet this competition. But you can see a bit of disconnect as she drops in that dip. Okay. Okay, Poisson is not going to go for the 111 for the bronze medal. She's going to go for 107, a 4 kilo personal best for her. She beat her best snatch by a kilo, 83. Her previous best is 82, and this another big lift. So she's already had a phenomenal day of competition. If she makes this, it's just going to be the cherry on top. If she gets up with that.
Very rough.
Yeah, you know what? I mean,
not there.
She really snuck under that.
Yeah.
Great fight. But
well,
yeah, just not possible this time.
Just one more lift before we have the two front runners come out.
The battle, yeah. I can't wait for it. Max, let me pull up very quickly for you a video of Linglong clean and jerking 121 kilos. This was from just over 2 years ago, so you can see what kind of shape she was in. Strong clean from Linglong. And the jerk.
Pretty good jerk as well.
Yeah, a little bit tough, but in good shape for 120. Here comes Kristina Shamatova. She needs this lift if she wants to stay in the game. She made one snatch. She hasn't yet made a clean jerk. This is her last lift for a 190 total.
Best clean so far.
Yep.
She has to get the bar back behind her head.
Oh, well.
Not that far. Not that far back.
You had to say it, didn't you? Because of Max Zeta strikes again. Unfortunately, Kristina Shamatova bombs out in the clean and jerk. 83 kilo snatch, misses all her clean and jerks. No total for her. There are two athletes remaining. This is where the showdown really happens. They both snatch 95 kilos. They both have 115 kilos written in for their openers.
Now this
Linglong appears to be there waiting, so she will come out for it.
This could be a game of cat and mouse here, where Chinshanlo basically just takes 1 kilo more to win.
Yes.
Just follows these attempts up. You know, if we're seeing 115 here from you, then it's possible this could be an easy victory for Chinshanlo.
Chinshanlo just bumped up to 120.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's making a statement. Well, what she could be doing here is forcing you to take all 3 lifts in a row.
Yell from Linglong, and a chorus replies from the audience.
Still very close to her best. 115 as an opener.
That was 2 years ago, though, that she hit that 121 in competition.
Pretty solid clean.
Very short, short jerk, but
a comfortable lift.
Yeah, it does the job, and it guarantees her a medal in the total.
Yeah.
And you know, she's basically not really competed on an international level. The Chinese athletes are so strong that we've seen her twice internationally. Once in 2016, where she won the Junior World Championships. Once in 2013, where she won the Youth World Championships. It's also worth mentioning that there's a lot of pressure on these athletes. You know, the Chinese team is so stacked that this is her opportunity to show the A-team coaching staff that she should be in that A-team. She should be the, you know, the 55 who is selected to go to the World Championships in Colombia.
Exactly.
You know, the only thing harder than winning the Olympics really is winning Chinese nationals. That's what they say.
Yeah.
And if you can just get yourself into the A-team slot, then you're away. Okay, here comes Zulfiya Chinshanlo. This is an enormous... In fact, I think we need to talk about how incredible this is for an opener. I don't know if we've ever seen a 55 open at 120 since the category, and that's quite easy. As was
She is
the
just
jerk.
absolutely the owner of the clean and jerk here.
I don't think Linglong's going to be able to beat her. Well, Linglong's going to go for 121
Yeah.
to reclaim the lead. If she can't make it, which she has made it before in competition,
Yeah.
then is there any world, Max, in which Zulfiya might do 25 and then a 30 world record attempt? Based on the clean, she
I
might.
would say if you misses and Chinshanlo, yeah, if Linglong misses twice,
Yeah.
we could potentially see a record attempt
Yeah.
out of Chinshanlo.
So
But the likelihood of that is very low, I think.
back in 2020, of October 2020, Linglong hit 121. That, as far as we know, is the most she's hit in a competition nationally. She now attempts to equal it for the lead on an international platform.
Yeah, this ties her all-time best. Huge lift for her.
Brilliant. It's technically perfect. She just...
It's, you know, Chinshanlo's really in the driver's seat. They might... All she has to do is wait here. You know, she's got the surplus. She could just...
What does she need to do at this point, you know? Sit back, watch Linglong try and make it again. And if she does, what's Zulfiya going to do? She's going to take the 23 that she's put in.
Well, if her coaches are really savvy, they may drop her down to 121, steal Linglong's clock, and then bump back up to 25 or 23 again. You know, they could play that game. It's a, if you're a really aggressive coach, you might try that because that would really put the pressure on her.
Yeah.
She's probably not going to take an attempt heavier than 21. And there's really no reason for Chinshanlo to waste an attempt going down to 21, you know, only to have Linglong go up to 22, possibly make that. She wasn't far off that, but it is her best.
Now, had Linglong not pressed out that 98 kilo snatch,
much tighter competition,
yeah, things would be a little bit different. Zulfiya would need 4 kilos over Linglong, which, to be fair, she's currently got 5 kilos over her, so she'd still be in the lead at this point. But things might be feeling a little bit different in the back room. They're sat side by side.
Yeah.
She's coming out now. She's not taken long. She's got over a minute to go. Some interesting camera work there. Okay. Out she comes.
Definitely a tough spot to be in here, knowing that you're going up against the best ever in this class in the clean and jerk.
You can see Zulfiya there in the corner of the screen, sat there listening more so than anything, listening to hear, does that bar drop when it shouldn't drop? Have I just won?
Yeah.
Everything now for Linglong to reclaim the lead, potentially win the Asian Championships.
It really comes down to this.
Strong clean again.
She's got it. Can she make the jerk?
Exactly the same thing. You know, that short step in the jerk just isn't her friend there.
Well, so now the question is, do we get a show? Do we get to see what Chinshanlo is capable of now?
Do you want to know what's something sad? probably the last time we'll ever see her on the international platform.
Yeah.
Linglong. There are just too many stronger Chinese
Yeah.
55s. Lao Qian, Li Yajun, just to name two of them, both world record holders in the category. This was Linglong's opportunity to show the team what she could do. And I'm actually going for 125, which I don't want to count my chickens before they've hatched, but that does set her up nicely for a 130 world record attempt.
Well, there's no pressure for the victory
true.
now, so she really can do whatever she wants here.
Okay, here we go. 125. She was doubling 135 in the squat like nothing the other day.
Very strong clean.
As you can tell.
Fight. She's got to fight with that really strong fight. Wow.
And I think that was more. Gosh, the speaker's so loud. I think that was more that she leant over, her balance shifted over to her right-hand side there, which put a little bit of extra load on her right shoulder. So if that doesn't happen again, we might see her be able to make. I mean, I'm assuming she's going to go for the 30.
Yeah, I don't see what else she would do here.
I have no.
She's going. They're just putting it right on the bar.
Yeah. This will be a world record, folks, if she makes it. The first world record attempt of the championships.
So the last time she was over 130 in the clean and jerk
Was in Almaty.
was in Almaty, yeah.
Yep, 2014 world champs.
Yeah.
Prior to that, at the 2014 Asian Games, she hit 132. Since then, she hasn't. Well, actually, that 125 is the most she's hit in 8 years.
Right.
And now she jumps another 5 kilos. There are plenty of people in the crowd who have never seen a world record being attempted, and they're about to see it right now. In the crowd, we see Lu Delin, someone who may attempt a world record in a few days' time in the snatch in the 81s. He'll be watching to see just how an elite athlete handles it.
Yeah, she's not wasting any time. She wants this.
Yeah, she doesn't need a rest. She's strong enough for it. She's just got to maintain her balance in that jerk. She might be able to do it. Okay, here we have it. 130 kilos for Zulfiya Chinshanlo, if successful. The first world record of the championships.
Yeah. Just gets right after that clean. Oh, couldn't quite get up.
She almost looks in disbelief. I couldn't stand it up.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, well, the coaching staff still look very happy. They're pleased that she's taken the gold medal in the competition. An enormous 125 kilo clean and jerk. I mean, there are how many people in this category of clean and jerk there? Lao Qian's done it, of course. She holds the world record. Heidelin Diaz has done it. I don't know if Li Yajun's done it. Zulfiya might have the third best clean and jerk in this category so far. An attempt at the world record. It's great to see. What a session. I have to say that session lived up to the hype.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
the fact that they both snatched the same and then we got to see a world record attempt couldn't have been any more exciting. So everybody listening, everybody watching, thank you for tuning in. The gold medal in the women's 55s goes to Zulfiya Chinshanlo. 95 kilo snatch, 125 kilo clean and jerk, a 220 total. 7 kilos under the world record total. The silver to China's Linglong, 95, 115. And then the bronze medal goes to Abdullaeva, the 18-year-old from Uzbekistan, 87, 106, a 193 kilo total. 6 of 6, the only athlete to do it, the youngest athlete on the platform. An incredible showing from the young Uzbek lifter. We're going to keep this live ceremony going so that you can watch the medal ceremony. But from me and Max and everybody else at Weightlifting House, we'll see you all in 1 hour and 4 minutes for the men's 61s. You don't want to miss it. An incredible session, incredible battle to come. We'll see you all then. Just a quick update. I mentioned everyone that it was an hour until the next session. It's actually half an hour. That session went on a little bit longer because of the 10 athletes rather than 7. So we'll be back in half an hour for the men's 61 kilo category. We'll see you all then.
The medals will be presented by, in the snatch, Mr. Cho Jun-kyu, Republic of Korea, Director General, Asian Weightlifting Championships in Jeju 2023. In the finisher, Mr. Piabon Sicharon, Thai, Ambassador of Royal Thai Embassy. In the total, Mr. Ishaq Ibrahim Ishaq, Bahrain, the President of Bahrain Weightlifting Federation. The two winners will be presented by Mr. Tatsir Melihan, Kazakhstan, including board member, Kazakhstan Weightlifting Federation. Now, the medalists in this match. Bronze medalist, representing Uzbekistan, Nigora Abdullayeva. Silver medalist, representing Kazakhstan, Zulfiya Chinshanlo. Gold medalist in this match, People's Republic of China, Linglong. Congratulations to the medalists in this match. Thank you. Now, the medalists in the clincher. Bronze medalist, representing Indonesia, Gindi Cantika Aisha. Silver medalist, People's Republic of China, Linglong. Gold medalist, Indonesia, representing Kazakhstan, Zulfiya Chinshanlo. Congratulations to the medalists in the clincher. Thank you. Now, the medalists in the total. Bronze medalist, representing Uzbekistan, Nigora Abdullayeva. Silver medalist, representing People's Republic of China, Linglong. Gold medalist and Asian champion, representing Kazakhstan, Zulfiya Chinshanlo. national anthem of Kazakhstan.
السيدات والسادة الناشد الوطني كازاخستان. Congratulations to the medalists once again.